Hey, what's going on guys? Mark back on Mark's Aquatics. Right, on this little episode we're going to be breeding some Tiger Barbs for you, okay? A long awaited series. Some of you guys have been waiting for this one for a while, and I recently purchased a couple of these guys. This is the female that you're looking at here. Sorry it's a little bit distorted through my glass jar there, but I've just put her in here for you so you can see. Now the females are obviously bigger, rounder in the belly, and not as colourful as the males. But what we're going to do is we're going to breed these guys. Now what you've got to do before you breed them is you've got to separate them, okay? So you've got to keep them away from each other for, I would say, maybe a week up to maybe 2 weeks, and just feed them up on live food, okay? Daphnia, mosquito larvae, if it's that time of the year where you are in your country where you live, and get ready for these guys. Get some infusoria cultures going as well. I've got a video on how to get that ready in my video, so you can go back. If I remember, I'll put that in the playlist for you as well, so you can go and check that out. That's imperative. First you've got to get all that ready before you do this, because otherwise the little babies aren't going to have anything to live on otherwise when they use up those little yolk sacs, okay? Right, okay guys, I've just put the male in there now, so you can see the male. He's got a lot more red on the fins, a little bit more red on the snout, and a little bit smaller. Obviously the abdomen is not the same size as the females, which is the one in the back, okay? So there is your male and there is your female together, okay? Right, now like I said, what you got to do, you got to keep them apart, feed them up for a couple of weeks on high protein foods, which I have actually done at the moment. As you can see, she's full of eggs. I've just put them together here, that's why they're showing each other a little bit of interest. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put them into the other tank, put her back in her tank, and put him in with her, and then hopefully we'll have some spawning action for you to watch, okay? And I'll take you through it. Let's go to the other workshop. Right, okay guys, I have put the Tiger Barbs now into the aquarium. You've got the female on the bottom there. The females have got larger, rounder abdomens. You can see where they're holding the eggs. Now I've had them separated now, feeding them on live food. You can probably see some Daphnia hopping around in there as well, in amongst it. They've met each other now, and when you keep them apart, the females can get quite scatty, but because they're shoaling fish and they're used to having each other's company. But now I put them together, they'll soon realise that they're both together. You can see him, he's already picking off. He's been in there literally 2 minutes, and he's already, let me try and adjust that. There's already a little bit of spawning behaviour there already, but they're picking off that Daphnia now, where she was quite erratic before, swimming around when the lights came on up and down the glass. But now he's there, it's taken our mind off of that. There's lots of little finning action going on. He's picking off the infusoria, sorry, the Daphnia all over the bottom there. You can see him picking them up, and with a bit of luck, because she's been separated now, she's full of eggs, we might have some spawning action. Fantastic stuff, look at that. It's amazing how quick they will adjust. Now I have literally just put him in there from my other tank into this tank, and he's feeding already. She's nipping away at them now as well. We've got lots and lots of cover there from that big spawning mop, which hopefully they'll go in amongst and lay those eggs. They can have up to 300 eggs, so they're quite big spawners, Tiger Barbs. They may go on the bottom, that's why I put the pea gravel on the bottom, which is, well, it's not actually pea gravel, it's some JBL media. I'm not sure what it's called, Simex or something like that, not 100% sure on that. But marbles will do it. It's just something that the eggs are going to fall down and hide in between, because these little guys are voracious egg eaters. Now once they finish spawning, they will hoover up every single egg they can find afterwards. So it's a good thing as soon as they've done spawning is to take them out, put them back in another tank, and then you've got to wait for these little guys to hatch. But no spawning action yet, they're busy feeding, so we'll leave them at that. I'll get back to you if I see any spawning action, and we'll film that, okay? Well, she's busily finning away there, going up in amongst those fronds. You see, she's egging him on to go up there, but he's so busy trying to feeding off all that Daphnia, he's not seeing her advances. He's pigging out, he's having his breakfast. It's great fun. I do love watching the fish when they do this spawning behaviour and their courtship behaviour. It's fantastic to watch. I'm looking underneath where you can't see them, so once they start spawning, I'll see them. She's going up underneath, you see, trying to go in amongst the fronds. Hopefully you'll follow her up. You might do when that Daphnia runs out. Well, she keeps going into those fronds there, eager to breed. But this little guy is having no interest at all so far. Oh, go on, little guy. I don't even want to talk too loud because even your voice can travel through that water and put them off. Looks like they're getting closer to it though. And there we go, we just had to see them coming together. And again. Well, there you go, there's a start. Not seen any eggs coming out as yet, but normally when they do start like this, they'll go all over those weeds. Here they go again, look, together. Boing, it'll come apart there, releasing those eggs and sperm together. So we'll just let them carry on now, doing their thing. Be lovely to see some eggs drop. I haven't seen any eggs as yet, but I'll get the old magnifying glass out, and they couldn't be doing that. Look at that, fantastic. And little eggs come out and they've got like little ribbons on them, and they'll stick and hang all over the place. Oh, they're doing a grand job for you spawning out in the open there. Look at that. I'm not sure if I still can't see any eggs, but they are very, very small. There you go, boink, and again. Fabulous stuff. You're doing a grand job, guys, showing these lovely folks on YouTube how you make baby Tiger Barbs. Look at that. And they're off again. Still got a big infusoria culture going inside. It's a good idea to get a couple going, just in case one fails. If you look back at the Ember Tetra video that I did just before, you'll see how I made that infusoria culture, and I think I did a video all about infusoria culturing. Well, they're going crazy now. I'm going to have more of these Tiger Barbs, and I'm going to know what to do with. But you see, that live food is that key. You've got to get that live food, which really does trigger them off. Now, like I said earlier, I've had these guys split up for about a week, just feeding them up on this stuff, and look at that, look, fantastic. I've had them split up for about a week, feeding them separate, so they've been missing each other, and as soon as you put them together, after they've been conditioned up, this is what happens. You get a crazy little spawn going on. But it's imperative that you get that infusoria culture going. Like I say, it's so important, because you're not going to bring up any baby fish without that first microscopic food, okay? It's just not going to happen for you. You'll hatch all the babies, you'll see them all come out, but then once they're free swimming, they'll drop dead in a matter of hours, because they'll just starve basically once their little yolk sacs have all worn out and they've used them up. Well, this is fabulous. Bit of film for you. Look at that. Spawning mops are super easy to make as well. I've got a video on how to make those if you go back in my playlists. In fact, just have a look through the playlists that I've got, and you'll pick up, I've got individualized things in there, so you can, with neons, with all the different species that I've bred over time. And you can pick out something that you want to breed. I'm trying to get through all the questions as well, guys. There's so many, I'm getting so many at the moment, it's gone crazy. And and I do try and get to each and every one of you, but if I haven't, I do apologise. I will go through. I've got so many videos now and I get so many questions on each one. But look at that, fantastic stuff. Now a lot of people use plants for this as well. Now you can use plants, but obviously you can save your money if you haven't got plants, and you can make a spawning mop like I've done here, and it works exactly the same. Just make sure you boil that wool first and take any naughty stuff that they put in there to actually, anti-moth treatments and things. They spray all kinds of preservatives onto wool these days, but if you boil it up a couple of times, rinse the water out, these are perfectly fine. I mean, you can see this one I've got in here. I've bred koi. I've used it for koi. I've used it for all kinds of stuff in the workshop here over time, and I use the same one. But each time I do use it, I will reboil it again, just to make sure everything is dead and killed off on it, bugs wise, because we don't want to be introducing any naughties into the tank. Yes, still going for it. Look at that, unbelievable. I think what I might do now is try and get some close-up footage of the eggs. I think I'm going to go and have a coffee. I'll let these guys go for it. They're still going for it. And then we'll come back and we'll try and get some close-up of some eggs for you, okay? Right, okay guys, they've done the business. There's lots and lots of little eggs all over the place in here. They're quite hard to see, but they're everywhere. Little tiny little pearls. Now I've taken them out with one of my big nets. I've just gone in there really carefully, and there's Mum and Dad in the pot there, and I'm going to go and acclimate them now back into my other tank in the other room, and then we'll try and find some eggs for you to see, okay? Right, okay guys, we're back. Now if you look right in the dead centre of the screen, you'll see that little pearly egg there right in the middle, and there's a few more dotted around. But there'll be a lot of them in here. Now I've taken them out. They would have carried on spawning for probably, that's how small they are, like when you come back. They would have carried on spawning probably for a couple of hours, but I don't want thousands of them, so I've taken them out after they've had a good hour of spawning. So there should be a fair old few in amongst that spawning mop and fallen in amongst the substrate there as well. So we should have a fairly good little hatch. Right, these eggs should hatch in approximately around 36 hours. Sometimes it's a bit sooner. Still got some little daphnia flying around in there as well. They won't hurt. Temperature now is 26.3. Anything between that, 26, 28, won't hurt. Bit warmer, they'll hatch a little bit quicker, that's all. So I'll get back to you guys when we've got some free swimming little guys in here, and then we'll go on from there, okay?